Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Superman 3, and this movie came out in 1983, and it stars Christopher Reeve once again as Superman slash Clark Kent. This and Superman 4, The Quest for Peace were the only live-action Superman movies I haven't seen yet, and I gotta say, these ones were not great. I was hoping for this movie to be at least funny bad, because I heard that this one was not good from pretty much anyone. Like, no one likes 3 or 4. And this movie really tried to be a comedy, and I never once liked the comedy in this movie. I always found it to be just too much, just too conflicting with what I would have wanted, and I wasn't able to get into it, and it was just not for me. But I'll say this much about it: I had a laugh every 20 minutes, which is more than I can say for movies that are trying to be funny and failing, like that are just straight up comedies. And I did like when we got Superman on screen, even if what we get isn't all that exciting, it's still something at the very least. But that's about all of my positives for this movie, and I really just didn't really care all that much for the characters, and I was really interested to see where they would take the relationship between Clark Kent and Lois Lane because of the events of the last movie. And surprisingly enough, Lois Lane, she's in like 2 scenes in the movie. And instead we get Lana Lang, who's basically a stand-in for her character. And yeah, her character I just didn't really care for. She wasn't super annoying, she was just unnecessary. Like, why do we have this character? I also really did not like Richard Pryor in the movie at all. I found him to be incredibly annoying, and none of his jokes landed for me, except for one. I haven't heard any of his comedy bits. Apparently he's a very funny comedian, but in this movie, he is not a good actor, so he really just does not do the movie any favors, and this wouldn't be all too bad if he wasn't a major character in the film, but he was. If he was in like 1 or 2 scenes, that would have been fine. Like, best case scenario, that would have been fine. But as it is, he really drags the movie down, because the comedy just isn't funny, and the villains of the movie I really just don't like. I don't find them intimidating. I just find them to be knockoffs of like Lex Luthor and just any other Superman villains that we've either had before or after this movie. Some of the visual effects in this movie did look dated. Sometimes it just didn't feel like what we're being shown was a part of the environment, which was my biggest problem with it, and some noticeable blue screen at points. The pacing for this movie is horrible. Like, for the longest time, nothing happens, and this movie's 2 hours long, and I get it, that's basically the runtime of the first 2 movies, but this movie just did not do anything with that 2-hour runtime. And it had such a boring climax. Nothing about it was satisfying. Like, how do you make a Superman movie this boring? Like, you can do so many fun things, and they just don't do any fun things. And I was just really upset that this movie never hooked me with its story. Like, at the very least, you could have had something interesting going on in the plot. Not that these types of movies are known for the plot, but at least there would be something instead of nothing. I didn't even like any of the subplots in this movie. There was nothing interesting about this movie. Had a couple good things, but that's about it. The story just went absolutely nowhere for me. It was drawn out. It was just filled with scenes of nothing happening. There was a point where Superman kind of turns evil, I guess. Like, that was unnecessary, didn't need to happen. Like, this entire film just felt pointless. Like, it had nothing to say, nothing going for it. It just was a big waste of time that I will never watch again. So skip this movie if you ever come across it, would be my recommendation. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Superman 3 a 3 out of 10. And for anyone who's wondering, I didn't just rate it to 3 out of 10 because it's the 3rd movie in a franchise. I rated it that because that's how I genuinely feel. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Superman 3 and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.